Uh,
Good morning.
Hello, Nadine, and welcome back, everybody. We were just deciding, is this our first New Year or not? But it's been a bit of a blur for January, hasn't it?
Yes, absolutely. But every day is a new day, every decision a new decision. So whenever this is just right now the right time to get prosperous because you can.
And you know what? There's never a right time or a wrong time. The time is now. So, you know what? If you haven't started your journaling or you haven't started your intentions for the year, start now. Never delay just because it's not a Monday or it's not the first of the month or it's not the first of January or anything like that. We just start now. And that,
Actually, I'm hosting a annual planner. I know I'm a bit late, but time
no,
is
you're not late.
relative. So, but this is so beautiful according to your business chakras. So I boil it down which themes and issues correspond to which one of your bodily chakras, which exist also in the structure of every business. And when we talk about this, so I don't have the date set yet, but if that's something that would interest you, just write a comment and I'll let you know. But so I'm very excited writing that training right now. And I also don't want to rush it. There are so many other things going on. That's why I'm still not decided on the date, but it's so, so amazing.
Can't wait to join.
Yes, it's really amazing. So, but today we're going to look at reasons, or not only reasons, but what you do if you fail. You tried so hard, you work so hard, and you seriously do the work, and then you still fail. So let's listen in what this is about.
There we go. Right. So I'm on the bottom of page 136. There are many reasons why people fail in spiritual work. The most common one is probably lack of persistence. And persistence is hard. You've got to really actually do the work every single day. But when you think about it, we do the negative work every single day subconsciously, all the time. So now it's just about switching that frame of mind and looking at it from a more positive point of view. So persistence, it's hard, but you know what? You can do it.
Exactly.
God withholds nothing from us. To believe that he answers one man's prayer and ignores the prayer of another is to deny his goodness. St. James said, "Every one that asketh receiveth." It makes no difference how many times you may have failed or how fruitless your efforts may have been. It is still true that it is done unto you as you believe. It is still true that no good thing will he withhold from them that walk uprightly, that do things in the right way.
And here, I guess it's really listen very carefully to your inner voice. Do you, even when you succeed, do you celebrate, actually like really celebrate success? Or if you get 99% done, then you still say, oh, I failed at the 1%, right? Because then that is exactly the kind of behavior that says, oh, you put energy on the failure of the 1%, which isn't a failure, it's just like one more step, and there's where the persistence is coming in, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then how much energy do you give to which part of the equation? And that's where law of attraction will take you,
Correct.
right? And then also your perception. Do you look at success and achievement as much as you look at failure? And I think to look at both of them is really important, because failure is a success as well, because that's the only way you can actually learn on how to do something better, right? When you appreciate the failure. So that's a success too. And therefore, there is only success on your way. And that is the kind of switch in the mind that will bring you to prosperity.
So the importance of persistence in spiritual work cannot be overemphasized. Spiritual gifts are the most expensive gifts in the world. Healing is expensive. Righteousness is expensive. Dominion is expensive. Answered prayer is expensive. Prosperity is expensive. In fact, anything worth having is expensive. It is
And
expensive.
so, read this last sentence.
In fact, anything worth living is expensive. It is expensive in the tremendous amount of mental and spiritual coin that one must pay for it.
Mhm. Yes, and what I wanted to say is like the word expensive. This is like it's very similar to the expand. It's expanding on the right on the one hand, but also then the pens root of the word is to think in Latin, right? So the how do you like enlarge, expand on your thinking, right? So what do you mean by expensive? Prosperity is expensive. So you have to think in bigger terms. What do you think righteousness is expensive? Like you have to show up and really stand for what is right, what is true, right? Especially what I see going on in politics, and I have to laugh. Like what used to work, that just doesn't work anymore, right? People are so aware when you speak the truth.
Mm-hmm.
And also, if they're not, truth will come to the light. Because now times are different and you just cannot do the blah, blah, blah thing anymore. And a lot of this is going on. We're still in this process, but that is like it's expanding, and you have to be the right person showing up and everything. When you're in the right, when you're right with what you do, you feel this prosperity anywhere you go, anywhere you go. So
I love that. Thank you, Nadine. Do you remember the story Jesus told of the important widow who was in trouble and needed help? The narrative tells us that she sought out a judge. That was a sensible thing to do because she apparently had no one else to whom she could turn. Widows of her day, however, received little or no consideration. They were at the mercy of every charlatan and crook, and their fate was often very pitiable. You recall that Jesus denounced the scribes who devour widows' houses and for a pittance make long prayers. Jesus painted this picture just as black as he could. The judge was not only a double dealer, but a blasphemer as well. He cared nothing for public opinion. He feared neither God nor man. What could a lone woman do against such a man? She had no money with which to bribe him and no friends with whom to influence him. There was just one thing that she could do, and that was to wear him out. Her weapons were persistence, entreaty, and pleading. She would not take no for an answer, and her presence was to him like a thorn in his side. She shadowed him night and day. Wherever the judge went, she went. There was no escape from her. Finally, in desperation, he granted her request, admitting that it was the only way he could get rid of her. Thought I fear not God, nor regard man, yet because this widow troubleth me, I will avenge her lest with her continual coming she weary me. Really? 2. The parable of the friend who responded at midnight to the neighbor's demands for bread because of her importunity. Are we carrying on?
yes, because now there are many lessons in these parables, so I think they're valuable to bring into context here.
Okay. So there are many lessons in these parables. The most important one is the virtue of importunity. Despite God's love, benefits, and compassion, he will not be moved by weak and half-hearted demands. The power is there at St. Paul, as St. Paul pointed out in the closing of one of the epistles of it's all the big words today. Ephesians. Now unto him that is able to do exceeding abundantly above all that we ask or think, according to the power that worketh in us. but the power must be evoked by persistency, by seeking, and by wholehearted demands. Jesus commanded us to ask, to seek, and to knock. Do you give up easily? Then change your ways. Give him no rest until he establishes what you desire. Keep on keeping on. Make your claim and press it. Work until every no becomes a yes. If you fail today, start all over again tomorrow. In due season, we shall reap if we faint not.
Yes. And I think when we look at this story, look how far we've come. Like, was there ever since that time a revolution where women forcibly demanded their rights? But look how far we've come, right? Now we have a system in most countries where there is much more justice to women, to widows, just to use this parable right now. But there was never like women going up in arms and storming governments and whatever, right? It was persistence. It was thinking of what we want and then persistence, one step at a time, one soul at a time, one system at a time, one judge at a time. So people start to think differently. And just if you look back 100 years, 20 years, how far have we come? And there is so much further we can go. And it's not by the use of force, but by the use of thought. So when you know and live by prosperity, abundance, bliss, love, justice, whatever justice is, right? When you feel this is right, and just get rid of all the blah, 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 blah going on, and also the fights in politics, just be there, stand firm for your truth, because with persistence, we will get there.
So true. Thank you, Nadine.
Thank you, Jackie. That was a beautiful section, and we will be back next week, same time, same place, with you Too Can Be Prosperous, because you can.
Let's have a prosperous week, everybody.
Yes.